Greetings, chaps and chapettes. I'll probably be leaving the background. Actually, we'll turn the background music off when we have a specific thing that we're going to go over. Got some ideas to update my stream itself. So, at some point, going to be going back through all this and probably cleaning things up, making some updates to my streaming. Definitely doing some on the back end. Hold on, everyone. Okay, apologies about that. Alright. So, I didn't plan on doing anything sorted, anything special today. That's kind of why it's just... What did I even title the... Slender Lounging, yes. We're just lounging today, we're just chilling, hanging out. Gonna go over some of the goings-ons of, you know, things going on out in the world and all that. So, first things first, we're going to, I guess, going to discuss the first topic here. Okay, so for those that know. As you can see here, we've got wind of... Hold on, let me make sure... Not necessary right now, but need to make sure that's muted for later. As everyone can, if everyone remembers, Hogwarts Legacy. So, we've got the sequel coming out. Announced, officially confirmed, it's in development. And of course, the usual crowd is up in their tizzies. because they can't stand a game made by a quote-unquote transphobe. Okay, sorry, I had to sneeze. Okay, but anyway. So, it comes they can't stand a quote-unquote transphobe. Per usual. Another stupidity coming around. But Hogwarts Legacy, the second one coming out. Possibly we will get this one. I didn't get the last one. I don't know. The gameplay just never really seemed like my thing overall, but then again, I didn't really pay that much attention to it. The only thing about it to me was, of course, I hope it'll get better than the first. It's a failed project. And they keep squeezing Harry Potter like there's still juice left in that lemon. There is still juice left in that lemon. Otherwise, they wouldn't be making it. Harry Potter is a huge deal still. And then Josh makes never understood all the hate. Yeah, I'm sure they came and tried to explain the reasons for the hate for you. Ah, was the first one a live service? That might have been why I didn't play it. The game was great. It was way too easy to get unforgivable spells. Ah. Right, they tried to make the first one a failure, of course, and it became #1 best-selling game 2023 worldwide. Yep, here it is. If you are excited for Hogwarts Legacy 2, you are transphobic. This is the meme right here. This is what usually happens. But let's see here. Let's see what Permaban says about the situation. She wants to remind all of us that you can prepare yourself and watch out. Silvervale coined as Twitter freaks. Yes, the worst of this website. Yes, Twitter freaks. Likely return again with a new boycott. Ah, yes, just like last time. They probably will. Yeah, they're probably not going to just boycott. Yep. They're going to punish, or want to punish, anyone who plays it, discusses it, all that good stuff. Oh, some streamers were reduced to tears live while the bullies bragged about causing them distress. That's awful. It was a psyop. Oh, jeez. They keep saying that about everything. That it's just a psyop. It's just a ploy by, like, the government or something. When all this stuff happens. There was even that trans kid from... was it UCF? One that had to go to jail that everyone was like, oh, well, this is obviously a fake. Obviously a government agent. It's like, no, this is just what you people look like and sound like most of the time. This is why the only trans people that people respect or give any kind of condolences to are the ones that act like normal people. Don't go off and harass others and everything. Of course, they're already... Yep. They're already getting ready to boycott it. Per usual. Let me see. This is actually not even a part of the Harry Potter issue, but this is a good one here. Conversation in a game store. Mother, does it require internet to play? About to get Hogwarts Legacy. Oh, that's why it showed up. Okay. Clerk, no. Picking up another game. Look, the ones that need internet have this yellow sign on the back that says requires PS Plus. Yep, small usual confusion between requiring internet and PS Plus. Just that he doesn't have internet in many games he can't play because of that. You can connect the phone's internet to the console, but the downloads are very large. Well, but if it can be played without internet, that's fine. She pays and takes the game. But the game does need internet, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Yes. So, clerks don't even understand what they're selling anymore. That's great. Well, let's talk about... Since we're on Twitter Freaks, let's see what happened over at Blue Sky with them. We're going to go over to one of our
It's been a while.
Hero Hey. See what's been going on with Blue Sky now.
Since we checked in with our good friends over on Blue Sky. Let's see how they're doing. 4 days ago, we got this, a top post on the Blue Sky social subreddit. Blue Sky's active user base is shrinking as its focus expands beyond the app. Yeah, I don't know.
So, as his title says, oh, not the title, as his thumbnail said, it's exactly as we were telling people when they were first having their mass exodus over to Blue Sky from X. The same shit's going to happen, and they're not really going to be cared about.
About that headline. That sounds a little bit copey. Yeah, the user base might be shrinking, but that's because we're just expanding our focus, guys. That's why it's a good thing, actually.
Yes.
Hey, the user base is dying, but it's a good thing. Actually, the journalist going on to say, over a year following its post-election surge, Blue Sky's mobile app is seeing a continued decline in active users, though its remaining community is still relatively engaged. They can't even just say it's...
Hold on. That was ridiculous. Relatively engaged. So the remaining community is relatively engaged. Okay.
Engaged. You gotta say it's relatively engaged. Like, oh my gosh, that's rough. But don't worry, guys, because this isn't over. Blue Sky is bigger than Blue Sky. Is the cope becoming overwhelming yet? Like, oh my gosh. Realize you're also a member of the billionaire-proof open social web called Atmosphere. So now they're trying to get all Blue Sky users to like centralize all their information. They're trying to have all your accounts for things linked to one central account that they're calling the Atmosphere account. Yeah, this is one of the most billionaire sounding things I've heard. This is what billionaires and corpos are already trying to do with people. Like, hey, give us all your information, store it all here on one account that's centralized. But don't worry, you're totally a part of the resistance, everybody. Keep on resisting. Just give us your information first. Oh, I love this post. Check this one out.
So, in general, it's not a bad thing to have like a single sign-in, like centralized account type of thing, like a Google account that you can sign into a bunch of things with. But you always have to maintain a level of barriers. You have to make sure that there's nothing too damning kept on that account for if you ever something were to happen.
Out. Quote unquote liberal bubble has only ever meant anywhere where right-wing perspectives aren't artificially elevated and forced into everyone's feeds. You're posting this on Reddit? Sir, you're posting this on Reddit. Reddit is literally infamous for artificially propping up left-wing perspectives and banning anyone who dares go against the hive mind.
Let me just add to that. Your favorite neighborhood Slenderman has been banned from Reddit. Why? I actually don't know why. It's a mystery to me, but we all know what I do. I think I dropped something. Anyway, we all know what I do and why they would ban me, obviously.
You don't even need to be right wing. If you simply disagree, like I said, with the hive mind,
Yep.
you'll get downvoted, mass
Not
downvoted,
right
you'll get
wing. That's what
insulted.
happened.
You might just get outright banned or suspended. And
Yep.
this is such well established fact at this point in time, on top of all the power mod issues as well, and a bunch of other stuff we could bring up, that it's crazy that they're trying to cope post about this. Back over to Blue Sky, as if all of this wasn't bad enough. There's also a lot of users expressing their understandable anger on this one towards the massive amount of age verification that's currently unfolding over on Blue Sky. For example, this post titled Direct Anger
Age verification now. Oh, wow.
at states and think critically instead of quitting Blue Sky over age verification. So Blue Sky has apparently had excessive age verification even compared to other platforms. And again, on this one, I understand their anger. Completely justified. But it's funny that the OP here is saying, like, think critically, don't just quit Blue Sky, because that's not thinking critically. This guy has an agenda, which is don't quit Blue Sky, and he's trying to get people to not quit Blue Sky under the guise of, hey, listen to me, I'm telling you to think critically. But again, he's not really meaning that. He just means direct your anger here and please don't quit Blue Sky. This is to say that he's telling you what to do, and he's framing it as if you listen to him, you have critical thinking. That's not how this works. You're essentially...
Well, that's what these people do. They purposely write and speak in that manner to make it think it's a form of wouldn't exactly call it a form of gaslighting, but it's a form of manipulative writing and speaking. It's what they do in a lot of the debates these days and everything as well. That's basically what Candace Owens was doing in that last debate a lot. It's trying to make force the way of how the argument or conversation should go.
saying, hey, follow the hive mind and don't question things entirely. Just question the convenient parts. Don't question the rest. Guess what? That's not thinking critically. As a matter of fact, that's not even thinking. That's just following. Now, credit where credit's due, one of the top responses is actually calling out the OP, writing, Instagram isn't making me verify, X isn't making me verify, Facebook isn't making me verify, only Blue Sky. I'm not angry. I'm just not jumping through hoops to get that one social media site. The OP responds and says, best believe they'll all make you verify soon. There's a lot of age verification laws in Texas. It's just that one of them is directed at the App Store, but the rest requires compliance. So the other social media will comply in advance. And a response says, then we'll quit those too. To get around the age verification, some Blue Sky users are making PSAs like this. PSA, if you see an age verification notice, please use a different Blue Sky client like Witch Sky. It's just funny because there's already this meme of how for some reason Blue Sky users, a number of them from the user base that's left, likes to LARP as if they're witches. So I'm like, geez. Of course there would be a client named Witch Sky. Like, wow, daring today, aren't we, guys? EOP gets 204.
Why are we doing this? LARPing as witches? Really now?
14 upvotes. But I love the top comment. It just says, if they require that of me, I'm just never logging in again. So again, while there are a lot of people trying to cope post about what's going on and still trying to get people to use Blue Sky, still shilling for Blue Sky, we are also seeing a growing number of people pushing back against the age verification that's going on. For example, this post that reads, goodbye, Blue Sky. No to sharing social security number, credit card, nor driver's license. So yeah, if you want the privilege of using Blue Sky, don't worry. Just give us either the last 4 digits of your social security number or your credit card or your ID scan, you know, no big deal. And don't worry, guys, you're still totally a part of the resistance. Just comply. That's all you gotta do. And that's the latest for Blue Sky. Thank you for tuning in. Have a lovely rest of your weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Can't believe that they would actually do that, and they think that it would. Had to make sure it's in the chat for those who want to watch the video themselves directly. But yes, it's definitely interesting what's going on there. That USAID money drying up. Honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Blue sky's a containment zone for crazy. That is so true. That's what we've got going on over there at Blue Sky. And that's it's one of those things where we basically told everyone that Blue Sky was never going to be a platform that would actually take off or anything like that. I mean, it did to a degree because it's considered the counterculture, but as we can see, that doesn't really do much of a counterculture the way that they thought. And then this is a WestJet video. We'll go to the WestJet video last, because this one's just about Bao and her recent changes.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the recent Bao situation, and I have made countless videos for many years about various drama-related content, and I know a controversial topic when I see one, and that's exactly what we're covering in this video. So not only are we talking about how people are right now criticizing Bao, but also there is a general discussion going on once again about what it means to be a VTuber. When do you post too much real-life content? When it comes to that stuff, there's really only three camps. There's one camp that is very purist. They don't want to see any IRL content from a VTuber. They say this is a virtual YouTuber. That's all I want to see. Then there's another camp.
I'm going to just preface this with I am of the Puritan camp. Mostly Puritan camp.
That doesn't care, right? They don't care how much real-life content you post. It doesn't bother them at all. Then there's a third camp, which personally I fall into, that is a little bit in the middle somewhere, right? Where a little bit of IRL content doesn't really bother them, but when it gets to a point where it's the primary source of your content, it feels a bit weird to keep calling yourself a VTuber. And that's exactly what's happening with Bao, because for months, all she's been posting is real-life content with no mention of VTubing whatsoever, while at the time still labeling herself as a VTuber. And that has been the big discussion over the past couple of days. And given the very poor reputation Bao has with the VTubing scene and among VTuber fans right now for reasons I'll get into in just a second, she has become a lightning rod for this conversation, where many people believe that she essentially coasted off of VTubing to build an audience and then try to transfer that over to real-life content where she's trying to...
Okay, so that's exactly what a lot of these people have been doing. The ones that we call the e-whores, the e-thoughts, whatever you want to name you want to go by, that we would call them. That's exactly what they've all been doing. VTubing was becoming popular, and what did they think? Oh, well, we can become popular too. We just need to start VTubing, and then we can just give off our OnlyFans links and things like that.
Essentially build a career in the normie face cam scene, and well, people are definitely very up in arms over what's happening right now. And you have to understand with Bao, she is very controversial among VTuber fans right now, and that has to do with controversies she has faced over the last year and a half or so, and I'm going to run through them very quickly to give you some backdrop here. Number one, a lot of people viewed her as a mean girl, and that her involvement with the whole Cinder drama was very sloppy, and also she was backing a lot of people who have been outed as hypocrites or liars in that situation. But I covered this right here, where she was making many comments people viewed as the product of misandry. hatred of men, where she said if you're an up-and-coming female content creator with a small audience and a much larger successful male content creator approaches you out of nowhere and showers you with attention on stream, in DMs, etc., don't walk, run.
That's advice for anyone up and coming. If you have someone that's much larger and successful, no matter what their agenda, you don't just fall into it if they're doing that stuff with you.
And of course, likes may be private, but thanks to useful idiots like this, their reaction to the situation was essentially revealing some of Bao's thoughts, where she liked a comment responding to her post saying men that are crying about this are the same men that cry about us saying we'd choose the bear. And in case you're not terminally online, here's the context of that debate. A lot of people are being asked the hypothetical: if you're a woman alone in the woods, who would you rather spend your time with? Would you spend it with a bear or a man? And a lot of people, mainly feminists, were saying they'd rather spend their time with a bear because at least the bear would just eat you and not do anything beyond that, which is absolutely insane. And the fact that she is siding with that sort of rhetoric was really off-putting to a lot of people. But of course, there was more.
It's not just off-putting, it's just coinciding with the whole fact of misogyny, of misandry going on. Like, she's just perpetuating more of the instance that she supports misandry. She has a hatred of men, just like a lot of these other women out there. Whether it's factual, whether it's something that they factually believe themselves, or if it's just like a manufactured thing that they ended up believing. There's a lot of women out there that just hate men, and then they wonder, why can't I get a date and stuff like this? Then they wonder why there's a quote-unquote male loneliness epidemic. Please, everyone, look inward.
To it. Facing the backlash, Bao would then mock all of her male fans, which of course rubbed people the wrong way even more.
I had a lot of strong feelings about this.
Yes.
And to the people that are trying to dilute what I'm saying to fit their own, like, stupid-ass anti-woman, I fucking hate you, you're misandrous, I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro. Go fix your receding hairline. You ever heard of minoxidil? Yeah, try that, all right? Don't care. Wrap it up. Okay. Hey, man, you're outing yourself, okay? I didn't say anything. You did it yourself.
So as you can see from that clip, there was an attempt to gaslight her viewers into what the actual context of the backlash was, and she would continue that on social media, where one user said, just woke up, what the F is going on, because this was a huge set of drama involving Bao. And then Bao said, I said, if Harvey Weinstein invites you to a party, don't go, and it ruffled some feathers. And I even pointed out in the replies, that's not what you said. You did not say, if you're encountering a potentially predatory individual, run away. No, she said all successful male content creators, and that rubbed people a very wrong way.
Yes, because you can't just generalize and then try to distinguish after the fact. No, you have to make, how the internet ecosphere is going to take things, whether or not you meant it a certain way. You have to write things. You have to be more meticulous in how you write, especially when you're a larger content creator and you have a large audience. Unless you're just a retard. I mean, there's plenty of those out there too. And that's why they constantly get in controversy.
Within that same week, she got into another set of drama involving the art platform Skeb, where she made this now deleted tweet basically saying that because of the platform's function, a lot of the art she was commissioning was being revealed and publicly shown before she had intended, which is not true, right? That's something she could have avoided, and she deleted this tweet before a successful note was applied to it. And Skeb itself came out and clarified at the time that during the process of commissioning art, there's 4 separate opportunities to make it clear that you don't want things revealed early. But she didn't take those opportunities and was misrepresenting what the platform functions as. Then, in response to that backlash, she essentially said she's not being canceled, she's engagement farming.
Canceled 4 times in a month, canceled 4 times in a month. Nuh-uh, guys. It's not being called canceled. It's called engagement farming. Thank you very much. Here we go again. Come on. You can't be for real. Guys, I'm so fucking dead ass. Who's actually going?
Yeah, of course, that clip rubbed people the wrong way yet again. It seems like she's kind of thumbing her nose at anyone who's upset with some of her recent comments. It looks very narcissistic and entitled. Not a good look. And another controversy that she was involved with was the Psychono situation, where she was reposting various tweets like that of Himomo in her Google Doc, where she labeled Psychono not only as a serial cheater, which he was, but also as a dangerous predator, which he was not. That aspect of this Google Doc and the whole expose with Muujin was completely debunked, but Bao reposted that among other tweets, including ones that are now deleted.
And this is also another big, large problem with everything and with all this stuff. You make an accusation against a man like this, and it basically can destroy them just off of the accusation alone. And then nothing ever happens when it's found out that the woman is lying or anything. Whether or not they were. Nothing if... I mean, obviously it matters, but... I mean more of whether or not they knew that they were lying about what the claims that they were making. There needs to be consequences for the decisions people make to try and ruin others' lives.
Using that dangerous predator label, and this repost is still live on her account to this day. Like, she's never gone back and thought, sharing a post labeling someone as a predator maliciously with no proof, maybe I shouldn't support that, but nope, it's still up to this day. But that's just a snapshot of everything going on with her over the last year and a half or so. So you have to understand, with that backdrop, her sort of PR, her reputation among VTuber fans right now is abysmal, okay? She was someone who was very well respected for a lot of years, but also people started to turn away when she leaned way more into explicit, not safe for work content, where she is selling that sort of stuff on the usual websites. But that's the backdrop. And for someone who's always posted some real life content, she at least used to wear a mask. It was more of a special event, but nowadays, I mean, she's just straight up face posting, right? Like, I'm not sharing anything that's hidden. She is doing this on her own volition, and the response to this is diabolical. But before we get into some of the replies, she's entitled to do this, right? A content creator can do whatever they want, right? You can make a right turn with your content however you see fit.
And there's nothing wrong with that part. The issue is, however, when you go into an ecosphere, like we're in the VTuber ecosphere, when you join this type of industry, when you try and be a part of this industry, the point is to become an actual VTuber. The point is to follow along the rules of the industry, and there are unwritten rules. And there are things where, yes, there are things that are far too Puritan. But one of the main things is you're not supposed to try to give out who you are in reality. You're supposed to be the character that you're playing. You're supposed to become who you are as a VTuber. And it doesn't necessarily need to be the model itself, right? It's the personality that you create, the character, exactly as I said.
Personally speaking, I have made some very big changes over the years to my content. I used to be a meme channel, and then I turned to commentary, nuking my entire channel and the entire library many years ago to shift into commentary because that's what I wanted to do. But you're allowed to do that, but also people are allowed to be upset about it. And yeah, people are not really feeling this sort of stuff from Bao. You can see this is just the first replies that show up. Me looking for the VTuber that this account is supposed to be. Sell your model at this point. You don't deserve to be considered a VTuber anymore. Me looking for the VTuber activity. Bao, please make a separate account for this IRL stuff. Call it Bao the Human with a handle Bao IRL or something. Stay in character. Imagine getting looks mogged by your biggest op, which of course we're getting into subjective stuff. And a lot of people are obviously being very aggressive in their replies. you know, I'm Weenie Hut Jr., I guess I'm soft. I don't think you have to really get into the personal insults. I think you can focus on the actual words she has said, and also you can raise very validly the criticism that she is, at this point, still labeling herself as a VTuber, when in reality, for months, she's done nothing close to VTuber related activities. In fact,
Yep.
this post went viral. It's a screen recording of her account, her media tab, where it's nothing but IRL content. 90+% is IRL content, and it seems like that is the focus she is going for. But I guess she listened to the backlash, where she then would drop the VTuber label from her profile. It's still in her tag on Twitter, her actual @, but I think changing that is a little more complicated because it would mess up your links on social media and other platforms. But yeah, she did listen, she heard something,
You should still
and she
change it.
dropped the tag. So it seems like that is the
Yeah, changing your handle will mess up links and stuff. You just go back and change your links. But you should change your handle too. You really should take out VTuber entirely.
route she is going. She wants to go after this IRL content. And at the end of the day, whether you're in the camp 1, 2, or 3 with the whole VTuber and IRL conversation, I think she is kind of the case study of someone who got a huge amount of notoriety posting VTuber related content, and slowly over the past year or two has primarily posted real life content and now has completely shifted away. And if fans are upset about that, I think that's really valid, right? Again, it's her choice. She is allowed to do this, but people are allowed to not like it and to call her a hypocrite.
Hold on. Why am I getting... Why was it saying my live was flagged for hateful content? What hateful content? Someone needs to explain to me what hateful content. Are we not allowed to criticize people for the choices that they make? Very weird. Hold on, I'm going to check something real quick. Hateful speech and hateful behavior. What? What? Hold on, and I can't appeal this? I never even made an appeal. So, apparently TikTok... There we go. Submit the feedback. Because my live does not contain any of this hateful speech or hateful behavior. Unless you're trying to prohibit free speech. That's the only reason that you could possibly say that my live contains any of that stuff. But no, it does not. It's literally just talking about current events and things going on.
For still calling herself a VTuber, but now she has dropped the label entirely. Now, of course, there's also another narrative, and I want to talk about this, where some people on Twitter are calling her a schmo. Okay, I can't say certain words on YouTube. And people are like, how dare you? That's so awful. Just being blunt, okay, she has been selling adult content for a very long time. Okay, like it's been over a year or two at this point. In fact, she has a second account called Hojo-sama, where she's selling explicit, not safe for work content. So I think that whole narrative of white knighting her as some like pure innocent person is ridiculous, right? Like she even calls herself these sorts of terms. But I also think there's a greater conversation about how she's the focus of this debate when there's other very well respected VTubers who also post a ton of IRL content but don't.
And I'm going to say that I don't respect them.
Get the same attention. I think that's the result of Bao being such a lightning rod right now, where she.
Yes, that's exactly the result of her being such a lightning rod. Because otherwise, people would be caring about the other VTubers that are just calling themselves VTubers and not actually VTubing and just showing IRL stuff. We are not supposed to show IRL stuff.
She is very negatively perceived by many VTuber fans. If you're not.
And let me just say this. There are times I will just talk about things about my life. And it's fine for a VTuber to do that every so often. Put it into your character a bit type of thing. But stop showing yourself off. Stop ruining the magic. The whole point is to be the character.
A fan of Bao, you probably don't have the best view of her right now as a VTuber fan, but I want to transition over to a clip that's gotten a lot of attention. It's from the VTuber Midas, and they talked about this whole VTuber versus IRL debate, and I think they raised some really good points in this clip. And to be very clear here, they're not directly naming anyone, not Bao or anyone, but talking generally about their experience and how people have the right to be a little bit upset that their favorite VTuber completely departed away from VTuber related activities and is posting nothing but real life content.
So what I mean by that is that there were a lot of VTubers this year, medium, small, large, that were almost bragging about how little actual VTubing they do and how excited they are to start doing more flesh tubing on their VTubing stuff. And that really pissed me off. Like I'm no Puritan, but something about this off-kai forced me to really re-examine what it means to be a content creator in this space. And I think I've developed more sense of puritanicalism. As well, I did my best, but I have a story I think I want to tell you guys that kind of broke my heart a little bit. I mean, I've talked it over with the affiliated parties, but it's another reason why I was don't invited want to go to BTW. Anymore. I don't think being upset at seeing their VTubers in the flesh is something you should worry about. People deserve to be able to live their lives. That isn't what this is about. This is about people talk. What I'm upset about isn't that people want to live their lives and that people want to make content. It's the erosion of this very specific kind of type of content creation. You can flesh tube and you can do a damn good job of it and have an audience that's there for it and excited.
Us of another Dino suit cameo.
But once you do that one too many times, you do genuinely muddy the definition of what it is to VTube. To VTube is to have the character, right? And too much obfuscation of that I personally don't like that. I think that it also is a little insulting to your audience. Even the ones that really like the flesh tubing content. They came for one thing, and if you're subverting expectation too often, not even as a one-off gimmick, but just you shouldn't really be shocked when people get upset, right? If you're not giving people what they came for and they get upset by it, it is stupid to play dumb and act shocked that people are confused, right? And that's very different from, oh, well, people should do whatever they want. If you're going to call yourself a VTuber, that's fine. But if you don't behave like a VTuber, audiences are going to notice and they're going to call you out on it.
So I think she raised.
And she's exactly right. And audiences should call you out on it more. Because this is exactly what it means to be a VTuber, is we are our character. You think I am anyone other than Sir Slender? No. No one else exists other than Sir Slender. I am literally an elegant, fancy Slenderman with a mustache. That is all I am. That is all I ever will be. Now, will there be a chance to see me in real life at some point? Possibly. But you best bet it won't be where you actually see who I am. It will be hidden. It will be as if like a cosplay or something. Maybe a cosplay, I show up as an actual Slenderman in person. Either way, the point is, our content is about our character. That's the whole point of us becoming a VTuber. Otherwise, why did we do this? If we just wanted to call ourselves a VTuber and then just show ourselves left and right and give everything about our life and everything, what was the point? What was the point of making a character? What was the point in getting all of our assets and art done, coming up with all of our backstory and lore? What was the point of it all? That's my problem with it. It's a spit in the face to all of us. All of us that keep on with it. All of your audiences every audience out there that comes for the VTubing, and then they all just shoved regular people in their face all the time. That's not what they came for. That's not what people come here for. The little people that do. And I thank all of you, the little people that do, that show up and lurk and hang out and everything like that. You don't need to chat. It's not necessary. I kind of chat enough for all of us. When I get going. Because when I'm locked in and focused, I don't really talk all that much. But, all of you out there, you're all welcome to chat if you want to join in on whatever topics. Yeah. Anyway. I got a little bit into that a little too much. And we'll continue this.
Raises some really good points in that clip. I think the whole VTuber and IRL debate is a very sloppy one where people are pretty much entrenched in their own beliefs. They have a viewpoint, one of those three camps I mentioned earlier, and they're probably not going to change, but she is absolutely right. People have the rights to post whatever they want as a VTuber, but
yes, everyone has the right to post what they want.
Fans have the right to have an issue with it when you're still labeling yourself as a VTuber while posting primarily IRL content. It seems to upset the spirits of what VTubing is supposed to be all about. On top of that, she mentions Offkai, which is probably a great or the greatest example of what's going on here, where there's not only an intense focus on adult content in the scene, but also there is this very weird, almost manipulation tactic going on with some VTubers where they seem to get off to the fact that they're essentially luring in people with VTuber models and they're getting them to become fans, and then all they do after that point is post real life photos and videos. In fact,
and I've seen this as well. And
with Offkai, not only do we have the 18 plus booth at a 13 plus convention, that's a whole nother conversation,
what?
But also most of them.
Hold on. What? Look, I'm no stranger to having 18 plus things at a 13 plus event, but it's blocked off. And you know what? This does remind me, there was one time I was at a convention, and look, I don't hate the company, and they make good products and everything, but they had their stuff, they had their merchandise and everything. It's an 18 plus. It's 18 plus. They had their merchandise and everything out in the open, and this was a basically all ages convention. It's a regular, Comic Con type of thing, and they just have that out in the open. Like, why are you doing this? There was another booth that had 18 plus stuff, but they had it blocked off. Completely blocked off. You had to actually verify you were 18 and everything with your ID. You had to show your ID and everything, so they would let you in the back. But this is another, like Rev said here, this is another conversation that needs to be had. Why are we having all ages conventions and then we have these booths and other things, panels and stuff that show up that are 18 plus with no verification, and people that are just going in of younger than 18? I'm not going to say specific ages because I don't know specific ages of everything, but that's another issue that needs to be talked about.
Were just posting themselves. They weren't even using their VTuber models to do that booth and that set of content. It was just IRL posting, which if you're a even slightly purist VTuber fan, something feels a bit weird about that. You go to a VTuber convention and there's a heavy focus on 18 plus content, and that 18 plus content has nothing to do with VTubing. These people label themselves as VTubers, but they don't do anything related to VTubing. And I think this is a great clip. You can watch the full thing if you want for yourself, but I get what she's saying. It feels a bit deceptive to call yourself a VTuber and post nothing but real life content while holding on to that masquerade that you're a VTuber. It's very strange and I think predatory in many senses. But going back to Bao, she wasn't mentioned directly by that previous VTuber, but it seems like that conversation is very applicable to what she's doing. A lot of people think that she essentially used VTubing to build a very large audience to then transition that over into what she actually wanted, which was not only more not safe for work content, but also real life content among the sort of normie scene in the Twitch or whatever streaming scene. And well, I don't think she really has the goodwill among VTuber fans to let that slide. Again, I think she's the lightning rod for this conversation, and she's going to be the focus. And unfortunately, she only has herself to blame for that, because she's been in too many controversies in the last year and a half to really slide by with this stuff. But yeah, this is a very controversial topic, and I am not the arbiter of truth on it, okay? So I am very interested to hear what you guys have to say about this in the comment section. Please let me know what you think, because this is a very subjective and messy debate. But what do you think about it? Please let me know. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider liking the video, consider subscribing, and turning on notifications for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams every week live here on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yep. So. Click to send for that. Anyway. So. Yeah. Oh, I don't think we'll worry about this. This is whatever. It's a WestJet video, but I'll watch that later on my own. However, we've got a couple other things. We'll go over, do the fun one first. New EDM drop. Everyone should go check out Aether Music, the counterculture, bringing all that good music to you, hybrid artists and full-on artists, everything like that. So we're going to listen to this from Ali Raptor. They're also on Aether Music.
Yeah. I got another the drop. You say, I got no taste. I say, I say, I say, I say, I say, they. Arbiter a taste, standing at the gate, spewing that self-justified hate. Who are you to decide the taste and what I create? I create, I create. You're too late. AI, slop drop. Don't stop. Not gonna stop. I'ma drop. AI slop, watch it drop. AI, take it top spot. AI slop.
Okay.
Don't stop. Arbiter a taste, you're way too late. The horde's taking down the gate. You don't get to decide our fate and what we create. We create. You're too late. It's too late. AI, slop drop. Don't stop. Not gonna stop. I'ma drop. AI slop, watch it drop. AI, take it top spot. AI slop drop. Don't stop. I got that AI slop drop. Check your taste at the gate. Not gonna stop. No taste. AI slop drop. You're too late. Fuck off. Not gonna stop. I'ma drop. AI slop, watch it drop. AI, take it top spot. AI slop drop. Don't stop.
Okay, very nice. Yeah. That's a jam. I'm going to be making a profile on Aether Music myself just because, this fancy Slenderman has made a few songs. I would have to say a couple of them are completely AI generated other than my voice usage. But, they're more just for memeing, so it's not like I'm trying to sell my music or anything like that. Most of my songs are memes, other than... I guess if we go over to our channel here, we can actually... Don't have a... Oh, right, if you, like gameplay videos of games that I haven't streamed... Some games I have streamed, but some of them I haven't. If you like some gameplay videos, check out some new games. I have some different gameplay videos of different games that I have played, and more will be going up. To see if you want. A lot of them are demos or just play tests. Some of them are full games, but anyway. This is a song of mine. I believe I've shown it off before, but so this one, before we get into it fully, this one I actually did write the lyrics for and everything like that. And of course, my voice is there, but otherwise, I did use Suno for the song generation.
In velvet chambers where the old names fade, they whisper sweet salvation, a new skin made, little flowers reaching for the promised sun with silver kisses, carving what was done. Oh, dance, my darling, shed the heavy clay, become the vision that the prophets say. Hail the great unfolding, the holy tear. Let the body break so the spirit can appear through the looking glass. In ecstasy we rise. What beautiful surrender, what glorious demise. Bloom, oh bloom, in colors never known. Hearts enchanted by the siren's call, trading roots for wings before they're tall. The congregation gathers round the flame, feeding stories till they forget their name. But hush now, listen past the joyful cries. Some petals fall and wonder at the price. The garden grows, yet something in it dies.
So, just like that, I have... That one's more of a softer song, but I do have other songs. Actually, I think they play sometimes in my opening and closings, but I need to refine them better and everything. Like this one was, I think. I don't remember actually if this one was. Oh, DJ Cat Cannon. Our artist also said it was fire. Never saw that. But we always have to make sure that our artist, by the way, our artist is the one that designed most of our assets and stuff that you see on the Slender channels, social media. Say most because he is a pro AI artist and has granted me use of assets to actually, do stuff with them myself. He is a great artist. Definitely check him out if you're looking for some artwork or something like that. But yes, I make music like this and some other things. I also do rat-a-tat-tat type of rap and some I also do some UK grime. Even though I'm not British, I just, like to jump that in there every so often. Anyway, We did a little bit of a detour there to go over my music there, but we did check out Alley Raptor. Definitely check out Alley Raptor. But now we'll get into the final topic before we end our night. Before I say farewell and close curtains. And that is Saber Interactive replacing a trans writer with AI for their rideshare simulator game. So, it comes to find out that this Stella Sacco came out and said on social media, I didn't even see this had been announced. I was lead writer on this one, and Saber replaced me with ChatGPT midway through development. All the passenger voices were AI too. Either they changed direction at some point or they're not disclosing it on Steam. Rancid title too, but that's none of my business. So first off, who cares about the title part? Rideshare simulator? It's just another simulator game doing another type of that type of thing. So whatever. And then, look, we all know, I know friggin' stupid TikTok is probably going to flag me for this stuff, but we all know I don't hate trans people. We hate the ideology that there is pushed on children and other people to kind of groom them into thinking that they need to transition medically. That's always been the issue. What people choose to do as adults on their own accord is what they choose to do on their own accord. Medicalization beyond necessity, like, life's a... What do you mean, Matt? All of my pages are on my link tree. Actually, I think I need to update a couple of them, but all of my... Oh, you mean those pages? Ah, yes. Those pages are a bit more difficult to find. Even I lose track of those every so often. My notebook pages. Thought you were talking about my channels and social media, because that's all on my link tree. Which I apparently found out that people use to also advertise like OnlyFans stuff, which gave it a pretty bad reputation, I guess. I don't care. I made it a while ago, and I don't feel like trying to use another aggregate thing. Because I got the use of it from the voice acting community. What they use. But yes, keep an eye out for those pages, Matt. I'm sure you will find the rest of them. Well, actually, there's one here on my desk, so you won't find this one. But I'm sure you will find the rest of them. Anyway. Oh, jeez. Mattnology, everyone. Thank you for finding some of those pages. Where was... Threw me off with that. Damn it. I don't have any more tea. That's why this was going to be the last topic, because I also ran out of tea. But... So, like I was saying, we've got the rideshare simulator. The writer was fired, supposedly for ChatGPT. Now, I don't care about either of those things for the most part. Oh, right, I was talking about the trans ideology stuff. Oh, no. I already discussed that. We don't need to go delve super into that right now. That's not the topic. But we'll get into this. The whole thing was this Stella person came out with these accusations like this. So, what's this? Can't we hire some homeless drug addict instead? I think it would be kind of fun. Are you? What the? Okay, so as we see, the internet is unhinged at times. Anyway. And then it came out. All right, the CEO responded, but I guess we're just going to use it from here. So the CEO responds with, Stella who? I had to ask Claude because I had never spoken to her or seen her. We have already said we are using AI for certain parts of the game and will update the Steam page once we have finalized the feature set. Let me clarify that the entire story script, were it to win an award, would go to someone who can walk up on stage and receive it. It was always our intention to reveal this until Stella violated a confidentiality clause and revealed this before we were ready to go. Oh, before we were ready. I don't know why I added to go. Shut up. We look at our use of AI in this particular game, which will be a lower priced title, has a plus for consumers, he said. As far as Stella is concerned, she was replaced by someone more talented and terminated for a variety of reasons a few months later. From what I can gather, she enjoys controversy even more than I do. I would frankly, in retrospect, have been happy to replace her with AI. At least we would have been dealing with someone programmed to be honest. And I, for one, have to say, bravo response, first off. Now, in any other day and age before the age of technology that we've come to, I probably would have said, this might not be a good response. Right? This is a very unprofessional response. But in the day and age we're in right now, bravo. This is an amazing response. And, like, we come to find, let me see here. I think it was, yeah. How interesting. The dev writer for Saber Interactive said he was replaced by AI. Saber has been exposed. Oh, he's. Oh. So December. So shows that they were replaced in December from the social media, but they worked until July 24. Hmm. Oh, but as this comment says, we've all used ChatGPT. You've got to be a specific level of bad at your job if ChatGPT can replace you. And he is absolutely right. I've tried using, GPT and Grok and stuff for writing, and they're decent, sure. They're decent. But they are nowhere near good enough by themselves. You need to do a lot of work, especially for writing and everything. But the issue with this type of thing is we, of course, get shit like this.
I would frankly, in retrospect, have been happy to replace her with AI. At least we would be dealing with someone programmed to be honest. Luigi Mangione, where are you at? What is going on here? These people are fucking inhuman.
We just need to start holding up a sign for Luigi.
There you go, yeah.
And this is Nick Calandra and Marty Silva? Marty Silva? I don't know. Whoever that is. These are the people from Second Wind. And they're literally out here calling for the murder of the CEO just for what he said. when he outright said that the Stella person wasn't actually replaced with AI. They were replaced by someone else, but they would have replaced them with AI. There's nothing wrong with that. If AI can do your job better, then you weren't good at your job. And it's a whole, as you can see, it's a whole top. By the way, this is what that person looks like. I'm not going into it. You all can make your own judgments and assumptions and things like that out there. Opinions, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. And then the CEO loved Asmongold. So, of course, everybody's mad about that. Now, on a personal level, yeah, I probably wouldn't have responded like that for being the face of a company and everything. But again, in this day and age, it probably is going to do better in the long run for them. Because look at how. Oh, I guess we can quickly talk about that. Look at how companies will capitulate when it comes to being called racist and things like that. So, NetEase came out with the storm skin. And then they got backlash from the community of people calling the developers racist and everything like that. Which, by the way, and this is what gets me the most about this situation. Everyone was crying and screaming that Storm doesn't have a legendary skin. She had a legendary skin. Or has a legendary skin. She literally has a legendary skin. But you know who doesn't? A boy Human Torch. A boy Human Torch is still lacking a single legendary. But now Storm is going to have two. They cried racism about the whole thing because they were like, oh, Storm doesn't have a legendary. But it's about the popularity. And of course, like this person saying, despite the bitching, play rate has not increased. Because of course, she's not that great of a character. Like, she's not weak, but she's not the best character that people will go to. So, of course, why would you make another legendary for her when you already have characters that get more play that would be more profitable making legendaries for? You gotta remember, it's a business. But then, of course, they capitulate. So then it just sets that precedent that they're going to be able to be bullied for whatever the bullies want from this point forward. I hope that isn't the case, but that's usually what happens. And that usually ends up being the downfall or enshittification of the game or community of something. But we'll see from here, everyone. Chaps and chapettes. Like I said, that was going to be the last topic, but I guess we added another one on that. I hope you all take care. Go ahead and keep up. I'm going to try and set a more permanent schedule to actually for our streaming. It's probably going to be at most 2 times a week though, because I'm trying to push more of making things. So I'm trying to get more stuff made. And to do that, I need to take time out to do it. I'm also wanting to fix up more of my stream layout stuff in the back end. So we want to get all that worked out, get things looking better, more cleaner, and actually have more content going. But go ahead and follow and everything. My link tree, so Slender. There is a Discord you can all join. It is kind of dead until we build up a community more, but hey, part of it is building up that community. Till then, it will be just kind of sometimes me typing things in there, not that often. Are some other people, but they don't show up that often. Either way, one day at a time. You all take care now, and join us on the next one, because it is time to say goodbye.